So we have the double crisis of the political West after 1945, of the civilizational West, and the rest of the world is also coming to terms with it. And we saw this spectacularly in the rapprochement of Russia, China, and India holding hands in Beijing at the, in Tianjin at the BRICS summit, Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit, on the last day of August and the first day of September this year. Can I just say this? There is the third West. This is the cultural West. This is the one, going back to Greco-Roman, Babylonian culture. This is the one Judeo-Christian. It's at the core of it. And in this cultural West, Russia, for example, is a founder member, is an intrinsic part of it. It's also this cultural West was always open. I mentioned Babylonia and Persia, and Indus and the Sinaic civilizations. So there's a whole slew of books published in the English language recently about the West. And that's interesting because this is precisely, they're saying, well, what is this beast, this West, which we're talking about, and clearly the slew of books now are an attempt to come to terms with this, 2,500 year, 3,000 year history. When I mentioned this, they're Chinese. Well, they say it's still relatively new then, because they have a 5,000 year history of cultural, some sort of formation. But yes, so again, so there's lots of things coming together at this moment, which makes it, very exciting intellectually. If only we can get a conceptual grasp of these multiple layers and multiple, it's easy to use the word crisis, but certainly, the Greek word crisis means a moment of reflection in the life of the community, and that's what we're doing, is reflecting, and it's fascinating to do so, though with those huge dangers which we've identified.
I like yeah, that's a nicer way of looking at crisis, a more helpful one as well. I want to address this pivot to the east, which you mentioned. Obviously, the meeting in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization became a good indication of this, but a lot of the reasoning behind this, the Russian abandonment of Greater Europe, it became to a large extent the consequence of the coup in 2014 in Ukraine, because for the Russians, they had more or less preserved Gorbachev's idea of a common European home in different formats. But even Putin wanted what is often referred to as a Greater Europe. But the problem always with NATO expansion, also recognized in the 1990s, was there would be no logical stop for it. Where would it stop before reaching Ukraine?